Couple more model 1891 Mosin Nagants. Two more Great War relics here. These ones, however, have a Finnish heritage. Here we have a nice 1916 Peter the Great, and you're not going to be able to see those markings unless I bring it into the light. Here we go. Now, surprisingly, the markings are not scrubbed. As you can see, the eagle's still there. Got the SA on the side. And rifle number 2 is an 1894 Sestroryetsk. A little hard to see the markings on these because they always were lightly struck. You can see it's got SA right there, and another finished property mark on the side, and also unscrubbed. The eagles remain. This rifle has seen the elephant more than once, I suspect. Most of these rifles were either captured by Finland when they declared independence in 1918, or were bought later on between the world wars from Germany and Austria. This one does not have any German property. Oh yes, it does. I'm sorry. This rifle is a German capture, and you can see that right there in the buttstock. There's the Deutsches Reich mark right here. This rifle also has a very grim little marking here on the stock. It is definitely not accidental. Somebody was keeping score of something. As you can see, this is not the first time I've seen such markings on a Finnish rifle, or a Russian one for that matter, as both sides had a great deal of hate in that war, perhaps more than the normal amount. And you can see the Finns have remarked the sights in the typical fashion, from the arshini to meters. Crossouts on that side. These are both in original stocks too. The stocks have not been altered except for the addition of the tiny little screw used there to retain the bands in place. A lot of times these screws are lost or missing, but in this case they are still here. Well, at least on that rifle. This rifle appears to have had something there, but it's gone now. Yet the rear band never had one at all. At least there's no sign of a hole. Got an interesting little repair here of a knot. And it still has a unit disc on it. These were ordered removed in 1941 or 2, I forget which, in order to confuse the enemy as to troop movements. So a lot of them were taken off and filled in, but this one still has it. And of course this has the Finn hangers on it, while this one retains the original Russian. No score marks on this one. Of course, I'm sure it has harvested its share of souls. Very grim history in the Winter War and the continuation war that followed it. And I have fired both of these rifles, and they are good shooters despite some bore wear. And I don't think either one of these are counterbored. Easy enough to tell. Oh yeah, you can see this one has a considerable amount of life left in it. And this one, oh haha, this one is the counterboard. Okay, I thought one of them might be. That one is counterboard. You can tell right away by how that flies right in there, right up to the shoulder of the cartridge there. Yeah, that's counterboard. This one is not. Counterboring was a typical way the Finns and the Russians had of extending the life of the barrel by simply drilling past the worn rifling at the muzzle area and recrowning it, probably about an inch or so down in the bore. And it worked. You know, the rifle, this one I know was pretty tight. There's even some shims in this one, and it was doing around 2, maybe 3 MOA at 100 yards with shit commie ammo like this, so that's not too bad. This one had groups that were a little bit wider, but not too bad. Of course, there's the bayonet again for fits both rifles. It's a standard Russian bayonet from the Great War period. So these are rifles that have seen action in the First World War. This one being captured on the Eastern Front. Probably this one as well. Possibly this one might have seen use in the Finnish Revolution. It might have seen use, definitely saw use in the Winter War, both of them for that matter, and the continuation war that followed it. Yeah, a lot of history here, a lot of blood on these rifles. You know, that was a very vicious conflict. Didn't leave a whole lot of prisoners, and you can see the older import mark on this one. That's from the early 1990s, back when we can get away with tiny import marks like that. This one has one somewhere too, similar spot on the other side probably. And there you go. That's a look at a couple more Great War rifles, and I have lots more of these, and I'll be showing them from time to time. And this one though, with the score marks and being that its age, it has quite a lot of history, and it's one of my favorites. You can see that stock's got lots of little dings and probable battle damage from who knows what. It's been around. Been to see the elephant a couple times or more, as they say. And that'll do it, I guess, for now. Did I forget anything? Oh yeah. Little stock fix right there. Forgot about that. And it's just like the one on the buttstock. They filled in something there. And of course, copper rivets on the handguard there, and brass here. And I think I covered all the markings. Okay.